Hello everybody, it's Jack. Welcome back to another video. And in this one, I want to talk about the Titanfall 2 tech test. This is the pre-alpha build, obviously. Got some highlights of a few of the gameplays that I got. And first of all, I just want to say that this game, Titanfall, belongs to the Titanfall community first and foremost. So, just like the Call of Duty games belong to the Call of Duty community. So, as much as I like this game and as much as I like the changes they made to it, you know, the Titanfall community does have their feedback as well, and their feedback matters definitely. But there's also a lot of the Call of Duty community that basically loves this game, and the thing is, it's also the fact that a lot of the Titanfall community consists of the Call of Duty community, because this game was hyped to be the COD killer, and it was made from the original Infinity Ward and all these different things. So I figured it would make sense for me to make this video, not just because I like the game and because it was fun to me, but also the fact that, well, there's going to be a lot of comparisons, and there's going to be more comparisons this time around from what I see so far than there was in the first game, because it's Vince Zampella basically has already announced, even though he hasn't been specifics, they haven't really released specifics yet, but they've already announced that there's going to be more modes with just pilots in them, other than just the pilot versus pilot that you see here, which, by the way, is way better than the first Titanfall pilot versus pilot, because towards the end of that game's life cycle, they released a pilot versus pilot playlist because the fans have been aching for it, which is probably the Call of Duty community aspect of the Titanfall game, by the way. They put that in the game, but in my opinion, it wasn't that successful. At least for me, it wasn't. I didn't like it in the first game, simply because of the fact that, well, it was an absolute camp fest. At least with my experience, it was. You know, if you guys thought Call of Duty Ghosts was a camp fest, just go play pilot versus pilot in Titanfall 1, and you'll be shocked at what you will find. But with that being said, this game, Titanfall 2, does have, it has a lot of Call of Duty genetics in it, not just because it was made by the original COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2 developers, but also because of the fact that, just look at it. There's the wall running, there's the aim down sights, the boost jumping, the slide, you name it. Fast 60 frames per second, all these things, fast kill times and everything. But it's nothing like crazy like Ghost was, obviously, as far as time to kill is concerned. But with that being said, Respawn is addressing a lot of the issues that will appease both the Call of Duty community aspect of the game that plays this game, as well as the Titanfall community spectrum that plays this game, which means that obviously they've added a campaign, which a lot of people are going to be happy about. Pilot versus pilot here surprised the hell out of me, because I wasn't really hyped about this game at all, but as soon as they said a tech test was released, I was like, hey, why not, So I decided to try it out. And once I got on pilot versus pilot, and I didn't play pilot versus pilot first, I played, it was either Domination or the Hardpoint, or the new one where it's like, I don't remember what the new one's called. I played very little, because after that I just went on a pilot versus pilot, and I never really went back to anything else, because, like I said, I'm a Call of Duty player, and I love the pilot gameplay in the first one and in this one. Although I did enjoy the Titans, because in the first one I played pretty much just played attrition, but in this game, pilot versus pilot surprised the hell out of me, because it was not a camp fest, as you can see. Although there are campers, it's definitely not anywhere near the amount of camping as it was in Titanfall 1. And if you're playing a first-person shooter, there's always going to be a certain percentage of campers in a game. That's just a fact. There's no two ways about it, and that's fine. But in this game, it's people are mostly rushing, and there's definitely ways to counter different play styles. There's going to be more weapons, and like I said, they've announced more game modes with just pilots in them, so that's going to attract a lot of people. And this time around, the comparisons to Call of Duty are going to be even more apparent. But for the Titanfall players' sake, I hope that they balance it out really well, so that way they can give, obviously, the Titanfall player, the people that love the Titans and everything, I hope they balance that out to a point where they're going to be happy as well. Obviously, the campaign is something they did as well that a lot of people are going to be happy about from that side of the spectrum. So, with that being said, like I said, I was genuinely surprised. The first Titanfall game I stopped playing after a few months because there just wasn't enough meat on the bones, so to speak. So I went through it pretty quickly, but I stuck with it for a long time because the game was appealing. It's just that, you know, there could have been more weapons, there could have been a little bit more variety, but that's okay though, because they basically made a name for themselves through the game, and now this game is going to be a hell of a lot more from what the first one was. I mean, they've announced a hell of a lot more customization for pilots and Titans. They've announced a hell of a lot more game modes, a hell of a lot more weapons, a level up system that is going to, according to them, keep us busy for quite a while. So, you know, with that being said, I have kind of a wish list. I'm hoping that the other pilot versus pilot game modes are going to be similar to a few things Call of Duty, obviously, but not entirely. Like, if they can put their own spin on it, that'd be great. So, for instance, I'm pretty much expecting even though I probably won't play it much, I'm expecting a domination hardpoint or whatever it's called for just pilots versus pilots only. So, because a lot of people play that game mode in general as well as in Call of Duty, so I'm expecting them to do that, and I'm hoping for maybe a free-for-all mode of some kind for just pilots, or a pilot versus pilot attrition only. That would be badass. I think everybody would, you know, it would add another layer to the whole team deathmatch perspective, because it wouldn't just be about getting the most kills and the least amount of deaths. It would also be about, hey, let's see how many points I can rack up before this match ends, which would make the game more addictive. It would make more people rush even more, and it would just be absolute craziness. And, you know, this game, speaking of craziness and chaos, this is a different flavor of chaos. It is a little chaotic. It's not as controlled as Call of Duty. You know, spawns are something that's pretty much impossible to control in this game, at least in my experience. That could be fixed by either taking one or two, you know, instead of making it 8v8, they can make it 7v7 or 6v6, or they can change a few things about the gameplay and the equipment that players can get or whatnot, and change that up. But we'll see. But with that being said, I mean, it's kind of like this chaos to where you can actually control it if you learn to control your chaos, and so to speak. I mean, it's I've seen people go ham in this game, so I think it's just a new learning curve. Honestly, we have to get used to the chaos. I don't think it's going to be like Advanced Warfare was, where it was impossible to control the chaos after a while. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what they do. If it remains like this, then yeah, you won't be able to control it. But at the same time, it is a hell of a lot of fun just to run around and kill people in this game. It really is. And I think the objective game modes, or like if they were to put an attrition in pilot versus pilot only, I think that would shine, because people would be focused on a lot more things other than just a pilot. So if you just add a little bit of incentive, like to go for an objective or something like that, I think that's one of the things that would balance the game out a little bit more, as well as changing maybe the number of players in the playlist. Not in the playlist, excuse me, in the lobby for the game mode. But again, we'll see. The game is still in development phase, and there's 2 months before this game comes out. So with that being said, we'll see what happens. But Call of Duty players as well as Titanfall players have a lot to look forward to. And the thing is, I don't think it's really fair to go too hard on this game right now as far as judging is concerned, because it is in development phase. This is a pre-alpha, and there's going to be a lot of changes that are going to take place before now release. So that's pretty much all I had to say for this one, guys. I hope you liked the video. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. If you did, let me know, and if you don't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better, and I'll catch you soon. See ya.